Hey Tara, hey, this question about God. Thanks for coming to me. I love talking about this topic and something I probably spend way too much time on. I write a lot about it. I think about it a lot. I read a lot of books on it. So maybe I'm not the best person to ask, but I'm definitely somebody interested in the topic and enough that I've done a lot of research. So when I was a kid growing up, I mean, my family, my grandpa especially, and other members of my family had served missions and were very religious, and my grandpa was a temple worker. I rejected all of that. I was very atheistic. A lot of my tattoos display that stand that I took against faith and religion. It made no sense to me. Like it looked to me like people just needed God for afterlife fear. Like they wanted purpose after this world is over, after they die, and they were afraid, so that's why they believed in God. And I thought that was weak. I didn't want anything to do with it because it was such a weakness, it seemed like. There was no real explanation for God for me. I didn't understand it. I figured science explained it. I didn't understand science. I mean, I was a kid. Even from the age of 8 forward, up until I was 19 years old, I had no belief in God. And then I was homeless, and I mean, you look at people's lives and, they have different reasons. Of course, everybody's reasons differ. Some people are afraid of the afterlife. Some people are remorseful about their past. Some people, just need something, more to justify their life. There's all these different reasons. I think I was the latter. I was looking for something, a reason why I'm here. Why do I live? I'm a sentient being. I'm different than the animals. I'm different than other things in this world. I have thoughts. I'm creative. I have logical processes that differ from almost every other animal on Earth. Why? What was that all about? And how did this happen? If it was God, how did this happen and why? Of course, I had all these other faiths and I was atheist, but I looked into, like you can see right here, my Celtic pentacle from like Wiccan faith or Druidism. And I was atheist, but I was looking for a way to connect to my past. I wanted to understand more about my ancestors because I was concerned about who I was. I wanted to know more about myself. So I was looking into my ancestral path, way back before Christ. And that didn't work out for me. And the more I studied about other faiths, I lived with a Hindu family for 2 years. They took me in when I was homeless and me and my mom wasn't getting along. And that didn't give me a lot of explanations, but it gave me more inspiration to look because, it had a lot of similarities to Jesus and, the Bible and God. So I, submitted to praying and studying the Bible, and I would compare it to things that I knew in science and things that I understood about the world. And there's a guy named Stephen Myers. He wrote the book called Signature of the Cell, and there's mathematicians you can research, and I can give you some links, but they talk about how, it's mathematically impossible for life to exist randomly. Like evolution talks about it, that cells, molecules came together, formed amino acids came together, formed a cell, and this and that. But it's like 1 in 40 million, to the 40 millionth power of a possibility. So, I mean, logic comes from logic, intelligence comes from intelligence. For me, it just didn't seem plausible for the theory of evolution to work. And so I studied more and I learned more, and then I prayed and I got answers to my prayers. And then I looked at prophecy, and those prophecies were revealed as true. They were prophesied, 3,500 years ago, and you can see them incrementally coming true. So God promises, God fulfills. But, I mean, there's just so many reasons, and my reasons have evolved over time. They've never stayed the same. And I don't even believe in like a Christian sect of religion now. My thoughts on it are more Gnostic based. Gnosticism is knowledge based, looking for knowledge, seeking knowledge. So I think there's a lot of reasons. I'll give you some links. All right, I'm out of time here. My SD card's full.